Okay, so this is one of those videos that it's like a story of me video, which is like vulnerable, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I'm Scorpio. I hate this shit. I hate talking about my feelings, but the Aries always is like, no, we got to be front and center. And the Capricorn is like, how do we market this? So it's like, that's what's always going on in my head. But I was sitting, talking and thinking, I'm always talking and thinking. And I realized one of my greatest fears is to become bitter and angry, to be like that bitter old black Hispanic woman that has no man, that just sits and just broods because she's angry at the world and what it gave her and what it didn't give her. And I am terrified to become that person. I've seen too many of them up close and personal, and they they look angry, they look jaded, they look worn, and I don't want to look like that. I don't ever want to look like what I've been through. Does that make sense? I don't know if anyone can like relate to what I'm talking about, but it's kind of like I don't want to be angry. I don't. And the funny thing is, I'm not angry right now. Like, a lot of people tell me I should be, but I'm really not angry. But then it's kind of like, but don't push it, bitch. Like I'm not angry, but like, let's not push it. I'm trying my best to stay love and light. Spit, fire, and grit is just behind my back. But it's just like I'm trying. I'm not even trying. I am working, clearing triggers. And because you know what I always say, if if it triggers you, there's something there that needs to be cleared. There's something needs to be cleared. If it hurts, something needs to be cleared because the body's not designed to be in pain. The body's not designed to be in pain. The body's designed to heal itself. So if it's not healing, or if you're not feeling any better, or if you're not getting better and you're just like, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I still feel stressed out, something needs to be cleared out. Something needs to be cleared out because it's just sitting there doing that. Boof, boof, boof. Every time it gets triggered, boof, boof, boof. And then you need someone like me to find it, decode it, figure out what it is, and clear it out. You know, um, and I've been doing that for like since 2019. So that's about 8 years. I'm no mathematician, but I think that's about 8 years. And I've seen my life change. I have. I've seen what used to break me, like break me, what used to break me for days. I look at it and I go, whatever. And then I go about my business. Or I go, damn, I guess that deck I published is going to really change people's lives. And Bob is throwing shit at me now. You know, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. And for me, it's more along the lines of I do the work. That's the part that has me concerned because I do the work. I not only do the work, I teach the work to others so they can do the work and they can feel good, because I feel that it's selfish that I know how to feel good and I don't share it with everyone else. And granted, they're making me share it little by little because you have to learn to muscle test first. You have to get the discipline of muscle testing first, then the rest follows. And I told you I've been doing this for 8 years. They just gave me clearings. They gave me clearings probably out the gate. They gave me clearings. And but it wasn't the clearings that I do now. It was very surface level anger, bitterness, but dude, I did not realize how much of that I had trapped inside of me until I was clearing it. I had books, like notebooks of me just doing the clearing work, and it changed stuff. But the clearings that I do with the app that I designed, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different level. But that brings me back to my original premise. I'm worried. I'm worried that, like, because the spirits are like, oh no, just wait, it's coming. Everything you're asking for is coming. Everything, this waiting shit, it's not for the weak. I'm telling you that right now because I'm not a waiter. I'm not a wait arounder. Like, I am like, let's go. I went to college in accelerated programs because I couldn't do that whole let me find myself in 4 years. No, I'm like, in and out. I'm in and out. I get my MPA in 1 year, in and out. I was like, okay, I got what I needed. I couldn't do it. I can't. It's like I have to, because it's crazy what you can do when you have no choice. But for me, it's more along the lines of, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, they keep telling me it's coming. They keep telling me I'm doing what's right. They keep telling me I'm on the right track. And I feel that it's not even that, oh, my spirits are telling me. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it when I get up in the morning because I remember what the wrong track felt like. I remember what the wrong track felt like. It felt like work. It felt like pain. It felt like you were dragging something dead that was just so heavy and smelled, and you kept like breaking your fingernails to the meat, and it was just like, oh, that's how it felt. That's not what this feels like. This feels like they're trying to teach me patience. And everybody who knows me knows I'm not a patient person. Is my love language. Let's go. What are we doing? I've calmed down with that a lot. I have, until they pull it out of until they make me pull it out of retirement. I usually put it away. But yeah, patience is not my thing. It is now. And I'm even shocked sometimes where I'm sitting there looking at myself like, wow, really? You didn't flip out? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Shock me too. And it's just like, you talk to yourself and you're like, okay, you're doing better than you were before, and that's really good. You know, but then there are days, and the person who's listening to you right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are days where you sit and you feel like God forgot, like whatever spirits team, whatever, like everything, they just forgot you down here. They forgot you were down here. They forgot you were down here, and you're sitting in your room crying your eyes out because it's like you don't know how it's going to happen, and you don't think it's going to ever happen. And you're sitting there and you're just like, have I been a fool this entire time? Have it, like, because I know for me, I'm not that chick. I'm from New York. I'm not that chick. I'm born raised in Queens. It's like, I'm not that chick. you know I'm that person that it's just like, is it? No, I'm out. Like, is it? No, I'm out. Okay. It's like I drop shit. I'm the queen. My cutoff game is crazy. I'm a Scorpio. My cutoff game is legendary. 1 minute I'll be there, the next minute I just won't, and you'll be like, "What the hell happened to Keisha?" And I'll be like, I gave you warning. I told you what I wanted. You didn't want to do it. I'm out. I don't sit in things. I don't sit in things. I don't sit in things. It's hard. I don't know if it's hard to explain, or I'm just annoyed sometimes with myself because I'm sitting there going, bitch, we're not this person. We're not this person. We're not this person who just sits and waits. You understand? And it's just like my throat is trying to choke up. So that means my team is like, you're talking too much. Yep, you're talking too much. Um, and that's the shit that I'm talking about. Sometimes you can say shit, sometimes you can't. When your throat starts, those are for those podcasters like myself. When you're a spiritual podcaster and you're doing what the spirit tells you to do, and you're not just on a whim just doing shit, shit will start when you start talking about stuff you're not supposed to be talking about. I know for me, my throat starts to close up, and I don't like coughing on air. It just looks weird. So it's like it starts to close up, and then I look at my tea and I'm like, should I drink my tea? And I'm like, I don't like drinking on air. I have a lot of little things that I'm probably gonna stop doing in my next season. But yeah, so that's what that is. If you're like, I don't understand why I'm always talking and I start coughing, you're saying stuff that they don't want you talking about. But anyway, so now that they detoured me this way. I don't want to get mean. I don't want to get mean. I don't want to get bitter. I don't want to get angry. I I like being happy. I like being the person that does things for people. I like being the one that laughs all day, that makes people laugh. I like being the woman that brings sunshine. I like that. And I feel like people before around were trying to snuff that out. They were trying to, well, I got to make you thick skinned and all this other stuff. And I became sort of angry. I was angry all the time, and that shit is exhausting. It's it's easier for me to be happy. Happy is literally my default. It's not anger. It's not. But I feel like there are things and people, especially before, that would purposely do stuff that would hurt me. And they wanted to see me just mother, papa. It's like they were like, yeah, let's see if this Scorpio Aries thing and their anger is a real thing. It's like people try to test that shit. And I was just like, I don't understand why everybody's trying to test me. Like, I won't jump the fuck off. Like, I don't understand why everybody's trying to test me. What is this? And I learned, what did you learn, Kayla? I learned just not to. With those people, I don't know how we got on this topic, but with those people, I just learned not to. Because I learned that that's what they wanted. They wanted the ba 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 ba, guns out, knives flying, ninja stars away. They wanted the full frontal battle because it's like, oh shit, yo, I it it felt like it was a game to get me out of character. It was like a game to say stuff to me to make me lose it, to say stuff to me to make me feel like my feelings got hurt. I felt like it started to be a game after a while with the people around me at the time. And I started to look at it and I was just like, what the hell is happening? And I remember when I got that download, everything does not need a response. And I sat there and I was like, what you mean? They said whatever they said, I need to respond. I started doing the clearings. Once I started doing the clearings, I started clearing out stuff that was hitting that stuff. And then after a while, it was just like people would say stuff to me and I would just look at them and walk away. I would just look at them and be like, do you need anything else? And they would be like, no. And I'm like, okay. And it's just like, because I had a boss one time during this whole transition phase, and he was just like, oh, I needed you, blah, blah, blah. And you were at your desk, and da da da. And you owe me would have been like, oh my God. Oh, there was two me's. The one first me would have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then the second me was like, yo, I had to go to the bathroom. Are you serious right now? And it's like I would argue. That me that showed up that day was just like he was like, and I was just watching him. And then I heard myself go, what did you need? It was funny because I was like having an outer body experience. Like I was watching myself go, oh shit, that's all we gonna say? And it was like, and it didn't come from anger, it didn't come from frustration, it didn't come from anything. It came from, I need to understand what you needed. All this other stuff is not necessary. And that's what I said quickly in my head. All this other stuff I don't need to take care of. I don't need to manage all this other stuff. That's your shit. You know what I said? I need to manage what you needed from me. And that's it. All the other shit that belongs to you. And ouch. I really, my heater, it gets cold. These kids in this air conditioner. But anyway, so I learned that, and that was the first day I practiced it, and it felt so intoxicating. It felt so intoxicating. I started doing that shit with everybody. Every time people would say something to me, I would look at them, and it was kind of like it was kind of like having a computer scan them. And it was just like, is this my problem? Nope. Is that my problem? Uh-uh. Is that what I need to address? Yes. Okay, so we just address that. And I would address what I needed to address. And I would be like, do we need anything else? And then they're like, no. And then they would all go, you saw how I said no? That's how they would always say no to me. Like, no. Like, so you not gonna like say nothing? They would always look at me like that, and I'm looking at them like, do you need anything else? And they're like, no. And then they would leave, and I'm like, okay. And it's like, it I'm the same person everywhere I go. I'm the same person I am at the work at office. I am the same person I am on social media. I am the same person I am at home with my children. You can ask anybody. When I'm outside, I'm the same exact same way. I this this person is exhausting. Could you imagine me splitting her into like different sections? Absolutely not. So for me, I did this across the entire board. I did it with my ex-husband at the time. I did because he was the number one person that would say stuff and kept me out of character, and he was the main reason that made me realize, oh shit, you're enjoying this. Like, this is fun for you. And I was like, this is not fun for me. I don't like doing this. This doesn't feel good for me. And I was like, oh, and that's why I had to start doing that. I had to start being like, okay, not everything needs a response. I don't need to respond to everything. I need to respond to what I need to respond to. And that's the only thing I need to respond to. And like I've told my students before, if you're in an argument and you know you're in an argument and you do not want to argue, sit back, pause, just listen for question marks. Listen for sentences that have question marks, and then you respond. Everything else is that person just touting and blowing off steam. Do you understand? If they're like, you're like this, you're like that, and this is what you do, and I don't, da, 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 da," those are statements. Those are not, those are statements that they believe. Those are not statements that you need to internalize. That's how they feel. And guess what? They're entitled to their feelings. They're entitled to view you however they choose. It behooved me when I found that out too. When my spirit team was like, yeah, let them. If that's how they believe you are or who they believe you are, leave them with it. It is not my job to convince you that I am who I say I am. It is not my job it's not my job to convince you that no, I'm not like that. I don't like, what is making you think that I'm like that? And it's just like, granted, maybe there are things, don't get it twisted, because I'm brilliant, but I need supervision. You understand? I need supervision. So I'm not talking about the people who are telling you, hey, this is not okay and this is not working for me. That's one thing. You sit and you listen to that. You sit, you listen to it. You, again, you listen for the question marks. You, so don't respond. They're not asking for a response. They're venting. They're venting, they're explaining. Those are the times that you listen in. You don't listen to answer. Because if you're listening to answer on a statement, you're going to miss when the question actually comes up. And they're going to be like, "What?" And then you're going to be talking about something completely different when you should have been looking for the question mark. Does that make sense? So it's like, listen for question marks, not statements. Because when you do that, you'll be able to answer when you hear one. Now, I'm talking about the people who just yell because they want to hear themselves yell, or they're having a bad day, and then you just end up being target number one. You know, and if you notice that this conversation, this argument really has nothing to do with me, but has everything to do with how they feel, sit back and just listen for the question marks. When they ask you a question, you answer it. If they don't ask you a question, there's nothing to answer. Just listen to what they're saying to you. And there might be some truth in your life what they're saying. You understand? If you're doing something that's making them upset and they're explaining it to you and not using question marks, you still need to listen to it. Does that make sense? But anyway, back to my original premise. I don't I like being silly. I like being light. I like creating. I like being like a butterfly just flying through the world and just seeing beautiful things and creating beautiful things. And I get scared sometimes that the level that I'm at now, I don't have like all the people who made me cry are no longer here. All the people who made me feel funny are no longer here. But the part that they don't explain, which I'm going to explain to you right now, is you're empty. You understand? You're empty. Everything that I came with when I was born is gone. You know, and the things that I picked up along the way couldn't stand where I am now. They couldn't come with me. You know, nothing could come with me. No one could come with me. That's empire level. No one can come with you sometimes. You know, and you may not be like me. You might be like, no, I have a bunch of people around me. I have a bunch of everything. Then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are like me, that it's just like, for your survival and for your growth and for your healing and for your cleansing, you had to let go of everything you knew. You had to you had to uproot your soul from where it was born, and in the tribe, or the lineage people that it was in. You had to cut that cloth. You had to cut it. You had to cut the cloth away so that you can save the rest of the legacy and the rest of that lineage. You know, and what they don't tell you is how isolating that is, how sad it is sometimes, how hard it is, how challenging it is sometimes, because challenging and hard is two different things. You'd be like, why did she say challenging and hard? That's the same thing. No, it's not. Hard, challenging is, I got to get it done. And I know I got to get it done. I know why I got to get it done. It's a little, I'm trying to rework it, and you're moving. Hard is, it hits your body. It hits your body, and you have a hard time getting, that's what I call it hard. You have a hard time getting out of bed. You have a hard time recording videos. You have a hard time talking to people. It's hard. It's like, it's heavy. Hard is heavier than challenging, you know. And it just, those are the days where you're sitting in your bed and you're just like, I don't want to be chosen. I don't want to be special. I don't want to be set apart. I don't want to be different, because this is going to make me angry. You understand? It's, and because it's, there's no people, there's nobody around to make you angry to that level anymore, because the people around you now know she's not a game. Don't, you can do certain things. Don't do these certain things, because if you do these certain things, you won't be here anymore. So people know pretty much how to walk. Now it's you. Before, it was you sparring with people, right? You are at a spiritual, energetic, 3D earth realmed game level where you're sparring with the spirit world. You're sparring with divine timing. You're sparring with things you cannot even see. You're sparring with people and people's lineage, people that you can't see. You're sparring with things that is beyond your understanding and comprehension. And there gets to a point sometimes you just say, I'm fucking tired. I'm sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of this contract foul shit. What the hell? You understand? And it's just like, you sit there and you get angry. You get angry because you're like, okay, so I inadvertently devoted my entire life to this thing that I'm being told I signed a contract for and that I was supposed to do. And I agreed to forget the whole shit so I could remember, and that would be part of the game. Granted, granted, when I say it out loud, it does sound like something I would come up with. I'm not gonna lie, it does sound very, because I wouldn't want anything too easy. I just won't. It's like, what's the fun of that? You know, so I'm not from the participant trophy generation. So it's like I can see how I would construct the game this difficult, but some days it's just like, some days it makes you go, oh, what is this? Like, who are we on the extra hard level? Because this hard level is bad. But you're not the only one. I'm making this video. I'm going to post this video to let you know you are not the only one. You are not the only one sitting in your room looking around, and your whole throne room, almost damn near kingdom, is just empty. There's no there's no confidant, there's no physical presence, there's nothing but you. I'm with you. I'm there with you. It's one of the roughest things. I don't know what's on the other side of it, so I'm not going to sit here and go 5 steps. No, me and you are going through the same thing at the same time. I cannot give you any advice as into what to do except keep moving forward, because that's what I'm doing. You know, even the days that get heavy and hard, you just got to keep moving forward. Clear what needs to be cleared. Clear what needs to be cleared, however you clear yourself. Sometimes just going to the beach and sitting in the sand will clear your mind and clear your energy. You know, it's just sometimes just like sitting in the room with your music playing will help. You know, it doesn't have to always be an energy clearing. You know, I know this helped. I love you guys. You are not alone. I'm going through it too. So stay blessed. You got this. Deuces. And I'm out.